Hey yo, what up? What up? It's Lemek with Selah Sports TV back at it again. Cha-chia! Well, today is a huge fight day, right? We have some big fights. Um, we got the Tank Davis and Frank Martin fight, and we also have this fight between David Benavidez, the Mexican Monster, and Alexander Gvozdyk. Um, this is a huge fight, and honestly, this fight has the chance to steal the show as far as entertainment value. Um, I think the Tank Davis and Frank Martin fight will be fought at a high level. I do think that. But David Benavidez, man, his style is very entertaining, very fan friendly style, right? Um, so we are gonna talk about this fight. But first, I noticed something, because I just been back on the platform a couple days, and I noticed something. There you see my Twitch account. So, um, if you want to subscribe to my Twitch account, my, go ahead and hit the link in the description. And go over there and subscribe. I'm trying to build up all the platforms I can, which kind of leads me to what what I was about to say. I noticed something hilarious. Noticed something hilarious about boxing fans, right? And the differences between them. Like a lot of fan bases, a lot of nationalities have their segment of fanboys, right? Um, every nationality has they're gonna have a portion of their what's the word I want to use? Jeez, use your words, Lamech. Use your fucking words. Every nationality is gonna have a portion of fans that are fucking over the top fanboys, right? But it's not gonna always look the same. It's not gonna always play out the same, right? I'll start with my own, right? Because that's what we do over here. We keep it real. We talk about everybody, and if you want some bullshit, we're gonna talk about it. If you're not on some bullshit, we're gonna talk about it, right? It's called the truth. We don't run from it. So over here on the so-called black side, right? Um, Tank Davis fanboys, right? And it looks weird. Their version of fanboyism is very weird. It's very feminine. Um, they get upset at critiques. They say, "Why are you talking about him?" You know, and why don't you just talk about what's going on in the ring? We don't care what he does. We don't care what he does outside the ring. So they don't care about him snatching bitches up by their neck and shit, like right there in front of everybody. So we know that if they were there, right, they wouldn't do anything. As we saw, nobody did nothing when Tank Davis did that. Like they admit that there's nothing this guy can do that would turn them off. Nothing. They admit it, right? Very weird group. They come over and they say stop. They literally say stop talking about Tank. Talk about this instead. Like I said, very feminine group, right? But but to their defense, in my opinion, not quite as bad as our south of the border man fans for Canelo Alvarez and now Ryan Garcia, right? We have to throw them in there because really Canelo and Ryan Garcia shouldn't even be mentioned in the same fucking sentence. But they are because the egregiousness that this group will go, this south of the border group. And it's a reason why I'm calling them out this way because you'll see. This group here is just complete scum. Why do I say that? This group is the type that will come to your channel, and I know this. I know I'm not the only channel that goes through this, but this group will come to your channel and troll and drop all types of racist comments, old racial tropes, and beat the dead horse and repeat things that they've heard, just old racial jokes, whatever, stale, not funny, easy to counter, easy to uh roast them, they're easily roastable. But that ain't even it. The problem with this group is they'll run and tell, they'll run and report you to YouTube, right? It's a difference. One group, yeah, super feminine and they want you to stop talking about them, but the other group, you know, talks tough, talks, machismo, yeah, riba, riba. Yeah, machismo, when they talk, only online. Like in real person, you never get wind of this. But online, man, they so tough. But when their feelings get hurt, they don't reach down and find better jokes. No, 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 no. They run and fucking tell. That I will never respect. I can't respect that. Just complete scum. So, and then you have, of course, you have your UK Tyson Fury fans. I think they've been subdued somewhat. They were riding high for a long time, right? Thinking that guy was undefeated, and thinking he was unbeatable and things like that. And I was actually hoping Tyson Fury could win that fight against Alexander Usyk. He did not win. He didn't get screwed. He didn't win. He just lost the fight. I don't think that makes Tyson Fury a bum or anything, but it's really no need for me to talk about them because they've already got they've had their moment, right? So they've learned how to shut the fuck up, basically. They've had no choice but to learn that very quickly. Very quickly. And yeah, those are the three toxic fan bases. Anyway, let's get to this. Let's get to this fight between Mexican monster David Benavidez versus Alexander Gvozdyk. Man, this is a big, big step up for David Benavidez, right? Big step up going against a real guy, right? Gvozdyk is no bum. Gvozdyk is no pushover. Gvozdyk he's not some big slow stiff, right? He can fight. He can box. Gvozdyk is good. So here's what I think about this fight. I think David Benavidez, I won't say he was forced into it. He could have fought some no-name guy, right? But I really think he's different from a lot of the other PBC fighters, right? He's a real fighter. He wants to challenge himself, Like I tell it like it is. Like that's what I see. When I see David Benavidez, I don't look at him the way I look at a lot of the other PBC fighters. I don't. I see this guy as the goods, right? He really wants to test himself. He's not guaranteeing that he'll go undefeated, right? He may lose a fight or two or more, right? That comes along with facing challenges and fighting. That's how life goes. Like in life, you don't get to choose every battle. Sometimes you got to take them as they come, right? That's why a lot of us have mixed reviews about Floyd Mayweather. Now, look, I'm not going to discredit Floyd Mayweather's boxing career. I'm not doing that. The guy did it. He beat more champions than anybody. Regardless how you feel about how he moved later on in his career, the fact of the matter is you can't fight everybody. Can I say that Floyd preferred to fight a certain style? Right? Floyd preferred to fight a certain style of fighter. And that was financially beneficial to him. So I don't fault him for that, right? Floyd went into fights as an underdog. He fought Corrales, okay? When he like as an up and coming fighter, Floyd went into that Corrales fight, fighting a much bigger guy who was favored to beat him. Not only did he go into that fight, he wasn't in safe mode. He wasn't in safety first mode. Who and I like Corrales was my guy. At that time, Corrales was my guy, okay? And shout out to rest in peace to Diego Corrales, man. But yeah. Floyd went into that fight as an underdog and did not fight it like in safety first mode. He dropped Corrales, what, I want to say like 5 times. You know, he kept dropping Corrales with shots that he didn't see coming. So those are the fights that really make your legacy. You know, the ones that aren't foregone conclusions. That's why we look at this little pussy right here sideways. You see him down there, the little guy with the pussy hat on. Yeah, we look at him sideways because he's no longer respectable. I don't ever want to hear Canelo's name mentioned with the likes of James Toney, Andre Ward, Roy Jones Jr., Marvin Hagler. Don't ever mention his name with those other middleweights. Ever. Like they didn't. It's a whole different monster. No pun intended. When you're talking about those guys, right? This is a guy who's used every advantage he could use. You know, hand selects every fighter, every fight. You know, he holds belts hostages. He avoids mandatory challengers. You know, it's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Um, I Speaking of that, I have a poll up in that community. Go ahead and place your vote. What's the biggest stain in boxing? The choices, I believe, if I can remember, the choices are: one would be Canelo and his avoidance of fighting anybody with a pulse, right? He doesn't want to take challenges. And if he does take a challenge, it's going to be like a much smaller guy for him, a much smaller guy than him trying to chase. The other guy is chasing greatness, right? It's never him. He's not chasing any. Bivol took the fight out of this guy. Bivol beat the fight right out of him. Right? So that was one of the choices. Another choice was boxing fans supporting known cheaters in the sport, right? Cheaters get caught cheating, right? And boxing fans, well, wait for the B sample, and the B sample drops, and the B sample is dirty as well, and they continue. I don't think Ryan cheated. Like boxing fans supporting cheaters, right? They've never done it before, but all of a sudden against Devin Haney, now cheating is okay. Boxing fans leveraging their integrity because they dislike a fighter that much. That was another choice. I believe another choice was Mauricio Solomon and basically the sanctioning bodies, WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, well, not so much the WBO, but the sanctioning bodies, corruption, open corruption. Mauricio Solomon, in regards to Ryan Garcia, is saying he needs more information. What information do you need? Like, just listen to Mauricio Solomon talk and answer any question. He's not saying shit. Yes, we have process and we have what's the word he said? We have in regards to Ryan's test. Yeah, we have a process that we go through and yes, we go through the process and we're gonna do due diligence. Like that's what VADA is for. That's why you hired VADA to do your testing. What more do you need? Right? You know what more? He's waiting for that yellow envelope filled with cash. That's the process he's talking about. So yeah, that was one of the choices. Corruption. right? You can buy your way out of things in boxing. And then the last choice was Tank Davis and his fatherless behavior, which to me, um, I won't rank it up there as like being the stain on boxing, but it's definitely one of them. It's definitely one of them. Like his behavior is embarrassing. Honestly, I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows what he's doing. Right? There's a segment of society that loves to see black men act like Tank Davis, act like that. They love to see a black man acting childish and acting goofy and trying to be a bully and the fake thug shit. Can't can't speak, can't really get his thoughts, convey his thoughts, in a regular, normal way. Everything is, oh, he from the suburbs. Yeah, bitch, he from the suburbs. Like, it's a certain segment that loves that. They feed off of that. It feeds all type of stereotypes. Like I said, I'm from Baltimore, right? And a lot of people might say, "Well, you don't sound like it." You goddamn right. You goddamn right. I had a set of parents that taught me how to speak, taught me what was acceptable, right? I wasn't just gonna be around my parents speaking in slang all day. You know, if you think the whole city of Baltimore moves like Tank Davis, behaves like Tank Davis, like you're an idiot. You probably need to travel more because that's basically like saying everybody that lives in California is a gangbanger. You see how stupid that is? You have every class of people everywhere you go. Now, on to the fight. I like David Benavidez's chances in this fight. Um he's gonna have to be switched on. And I like that for him. I like that for him. I like that for where he's going because he's not getting any smaller. Even though looks like he came into this fight a little smaller, or maybe he just looks smaller compared to Gvozdyk, right? We're not used to seeing Benavidez coming in as the smaller guy. But you got to remember, this is just the weigh-in. And he's the younger guy, so he'll be able to, put that weight right back on. Gvozdyk is older. I'm not sure how much he'll be able to rehydrate to, but I expect Gvozdyk to still be bigger than David Benavidez. I do. I expect Gvozdyk to come into the fight as the bigger guy. I think David Benavidez I think his plan is to use that to his advantage. I think he plans to use speed, right? Speed. We know he has the hand speed advantage. Gvozdyk, for a big guy, he can move a bit. He can move, but I think David Benavidez plans to use his speed in this fight to break down Gvozdyk, right? We know that David Benavidez is going to punch. He's going to continue to punch this guy, and yeah, that's what I think he's gonna. I think the plan is um to break him down, right, over time. Uh, to be punching on Gvozdyk, fight him like an older guy, right? Fight him like an older guy. Just hit him everywhere, and see if he can take it. Keep the pace high. That's one thing David Benavidez he does a very good job of. He doesn't gas out. He doesn't run out of gas in fights. Um, that's what I believe they'll do. I think that's the winning game plan. I see a lot of people just they see the size difference and they instantly pick Gvozdyk. Well, we'll see about that. And Gvozdyk is a live dog in this fight. He can very well go into this fight and win. Um, I see a lot of so-called boxing channels. They talk about David Benavidez as if he fights everyone the same way. Like there was a time where David Benavidez he would walk in with his hands down and just wing off shots. Yeah, he fought some guys like that, but usually he gets some hurt before he starts doing that. And my prediction is you'll see some of that in this fight, but not in the first, second round, right? Once he gets this guy where he wants him, yeah, I think you'll see some of that again. You know, that's what he does. But he didn't walk into the Caleb Plant fight with his hands down. You know, not in the first round. He didn't. Like he was very much switched on defensively. And I think we'll see that at least twice as much of that in this fight. Because he has to be. Gvozdyk can punch. You know, Gvozdyk is a good fighter. He's not a great fighter. He's a good fighter. And it's important to say that because what you'll hear from the Canelo cocksuckers, I'm letting you know now. What you're gonna hear after Benavidez beats this guy is, well, Gvozdyk, he was old, and Gvozdyk, they'll start pot shotting Gvozdyk with everything that was wrong with them. Before the fight, they picked Gvozdyk, right? After the fight, it was Gvozdyk gets trashed. Gvozdyk is past it. You know, the only reason David Benavidez fought him is because he's old, and you'll hear all the excuses then, right? Even though they picked the guy to win. So, I'm just letting you know. But anyway, prediction time. What I got in this fight is I got Benavidez by knockout, bro. I got David Benavidez by impressive stoppage, a TKO stoppage. I think he will overwhelm Gvozdyk. I think it'll be nip and tuck for some time. I could see Benavidez possibly getting dropped early. I could see that. Would not be surprised. But I think he gets up. I think he calms down, and I think he goes back into his bag and overwhelms Gvozdyk. I think Gvozdyk slows down late, and I see a stoppage in the 10th round going for Mexican monster David Benavidez. Anyway, that's what I got. If you like the video, bang off on that like button one time. Peace.